And good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here as we get ready for race number 3 of Season 3 of the NNSCRA Hersheys Cup Series. We are here live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, home of the Neon Garage, for the running of the Cobalt Tools 400. Getting ready for 41 laps of racing and lining up on the pole position, a driver that found victory lane for the second time in his Hersheys Cup Series career and the first time this season last week at Rockingham, UK. That is Kyle Matthews starting on the inside of row number 1. Alongside of him, Emmanuel Hartnett, who's trying to get what's been a very struggling start to the season turned around here today. In the next row, you've got the defending champion of this series, Chris Dodd, who's also had a rather bumpy start to his sophomore season, if you will, coming off of his championship run. And alongside of him, our Daytona 500 winner, Sean Galligan, in the 44. So our two previous race winners starting up inside the first two rows of this race. And the point standings coming to today's race are actually quite interesting as well. We have a new driver atop the point standings, and that is Blaine Keys out of Sega Motorsports, the number 8 car. Keith Batson is second in points. Sean Galligan is now third. Joseph Srigley fourth, and runner-up last week, Leon Alvarez, he will be fifth in points when the green flag waves for this race. The rest of your top 10 in points include Jessica Shelton, Tim Walsh, Michael Norman, Zachary Fitzwater, and a guy who won this race 2 years ago, J.T. Bryant, in the 22. The defending winner of this race, another young motorsports driver, Levi McIntyre in the 99, who will roll off from the 7th spot. Let's get the command to fire him up.
Drivers, start your engine! Run!
There is the command to fire him up, and we will get ready to go here for 41 laps of racing. Kyle Matthews, after his win last week, moved up to 11th in the point standings. Keep in mind, in order to make the chase, you have to have a win, and you have to, well, put it this way, to lock yourself into the chase, you have to have a win, which both Kyle Matthews and Sean Galligan have done, and you have to be inside the top 30 in the point standings for that win to count towards a chase spot. So right now, Galligan, 3rd in the point standings, Kyle Matthews, 11th in the point standings. As things stand right now, they are currently locked into this season's chase for the championship. Will we see either one of them go to victory lane again here today and confirm themselves a spot in the chase? We'll have to see. There are 40 other drivers who don't want that to happen. They want to take a trip to victory lane for the first time in Season 3 for themselves. For 2 straight seasons, Young Motorsports has won this event. Can they do it for a 3rd straight time? We will have to see. They've got Levi McIntyre, J.T. Bryant, the 2 former winners at this track, as well as the team owner Dylan Young, who will all be trying. As here we go, Kyle Matthews, Emmanuel Hartnett, and all Chevy front row lead us down. The Cobalt Tools 400 is green at Las Vegas. Kyle Matthews easily gets to the top position. Emmanuel Hartnett tucks in line in second. The battle on for third could turn to a battle for second shortly. Chris Dodd to the inside of Sean Galligan. He's got John Arndt right behind him. And Dodd will try and clear Galligan for third coming out of 4. He is successful, but here comes John Arndt now trying to take that third position in the Reddit Chevrolet. Down to the bottom, he will try and clear Chris Dodd coming off of turn 2. Looks like he may be successful, as here comes the defending winner of this race, Levi McIntyre, up the inside line with help from Trent Dunham. Looks like they may not be able to quite get the run that the high side did. Galligan was able to get around. Now Cole Baker tries to do the same. That's a battle right now for the 6th position. Battle on for 4th going on here. Chris Dodd, Sean Galligan. Galligan looking low. Dodd tries to move down to block, is successful in the battle for 2nd up ahead. Emmanuel Hartnett has John Arndt to his inside. Arndt going to make very quick work of Emmanuel Hartnett, and he'll move by for that position. Kyle Matthews getting valuable bonus points with leading laps out in front. Here comes Seth Cole Baker Motorsports driver Sean Galligan and his teammate Cole Baker in the 18, who had a great run last week at Rockingham, UK. Battle is on for the lead. John Arndt finds a way to the inside of Kyle Matthews. Can he make it stick coming out of turn 2? Matthews might be clear on him, but Arndt's going to try again on the inside of 3. Cole Baker now moves into the 3rd spot. Hartnett follows him as they'll get around Sean Galligan. And look at the run Baker got out of turn 4. John Arndt to the lead and will lead that lap. Baker now will move into 2nd. And here comes Emmanuel Hartnett for 3rd. Baker's got thoughts for the lead. Nice run there into turn 1. Can he follow it up with a good run out of 2? Not quite to the left rear quarter panel of John Arndt. He might try again in 3. Speaking of 3, it's 3 wide further back. Galligan on the inside, Hartnett in the middle. Kyle Matthews now pushed to the high line off of turn 4. As you've got more drivers coming into view here. Here comes Trent Dunham, Tim Walsh, Dylan Young, Joseph Srigley all in the mix now as they're still 3 wide up ahead. Hartnett going to be the wise man in that whole situation, backs out and tucks in line instead behind Kyle Matthews, getting out of that situation as quickly as possible. Matthews will use the high side. He'll get around and hang on to the 3rd position over Sean Galligan. Meanwhile, up ahead, John Arndt over Cole Baker. Neither one of these drivers have ever won in the Hersheys Cup Series. They'd love to be able to pick up career win number 1 here today at Las Vegas. Baker right on the bumper of John Arndt, but meanwhile behind them as these two continue to run nose to tail, that might allow Kyle Matthews to reel the top 2 back in. Let's take a look and see where some of our front runners in the points are currently situated. How about the points leader coming into this race? Blaine Keys. Where is the 8 car currently situated at? There he is. Battling right now with a driver making his rookie debut, Mitchell Carter in the 07, who moves by for the position. Last time by, Blaine Keys was scored in the 23rd position. What about Keith Batson in the 39? Haven't really seen him up at the front at all in this race. And I don't know where he's at. Apparently not at the rear of the field. Must be about mid-pack, I guess. Is he up in this group? Well, I don't know where he's at. Where is the 39 car? Did I miss him? Or is he maybe out? Is he out of the race? He can't be out of the race. Maybe he is. Battle on for the lead, Dylan Young and John Arndt. Is there a driver out of the race at this point? Keith Batson never took the green flag. Keith Batson never took the green. He's currently scored in 42nd. He must have had some issue at the start of the race. Tough break there for the guy who came in 2nd in the point standings. He's not even going to get to finish or even start this race as Dylan Young moves around for the top position over John Arndt. Keep in mind, Young Motorsports, they are 2 for 2 at this race of going to victory lane. Dylan Young, can he make it 3 for 3? He is currently out in front. And how about rookie Matt Haas in the 78? Now the driver he was battling came into this race actually tied for the rookie points lead with Chris Dollerton, failed to make this race in the non-charter knockout qualifying. Talk about taking advantage of the situation. Matt Haas right now is going to put himself firmly in control of the points lead as he's currently running up inside the top 5 right now in the 3rd position. So a great run for him right now. I'm also noticing another driver that hasn't had the best of luck to start the season off. He's up here in the top 10 now. That's the 48 of Cody Lamas out of NW Racing. Cody Lamas last year seemed to be the bridesmaid every single week early on in the season, finishing 2nd place. Right now having a good run, fought his way up into the top 10. He's currently scored, I believe, in the 8th position now, as he just took the spot away from Joshua Michaels. Charles Samper right behind him has now moved into the top 10 as well, into 9th. And I've also noticed another driver back here, right there, the 33 of Leon Alvarez, finished runner-up to Kyle Matthews last week at Rockingham, UK, but fighting his way up towards the front here at Las Vegas. Last time by, I believe, was scored in the 13th position. He's now moving by for the 10th spot off of Tim Walsh. And as far as the non-chartered cars that race their way into this race, right now, 11th place, Ryan George in the 91, having a great run right now. He had a great run in the Almond Joy Series race here yesterday, so not a surprise to be seeing him running so well in that 91 car. We'll move back up to the front of the field where we have a new 2nd place driver, and that is Matt Haas in the 78. He and Kyle Matthews, as well as Cole Baker, have all managed to get around John Arndt, move John Arndt back to the 5th position as they're all chasing the SKF Ford Fusion of Dylan Young. Dylan Young picked up his first Hersheys Cup Series career win last year at Homestead Miami Speedway. He'd love to pick up win number 2 here at a track that his team has been so dominant at in the Hersheys Cup Series. And it's not exactly been the strongest season so far to start for Dylan Young either. As a matter of fact, there's a number of drivers in the point standings coming into this race that only have 1 start this season, and they're running better than Dylan Young, who has had 2 starts this season. So this is definitely a turnabout race for that 2 team. Matt Haas right now in the 2nd spot. He's got Kyle Matthews right behind him. Cole Baker right there in 3rd as well. Cole Baker en route to yet another good finish. He finished top 5 last week at Rockingham, UK. If he can finish top 5 again here, we could see his name pop up inside the top 10 in the point standings. We've documented Dylan Young. How about his teammates, Levi McIntyre and JT Bryant? McIntyre was up inside the top 10 not too long ago, but he's recently faded out of the picture, and he has dropped all the way back to here, currently scored in the 21st position. Let's see where he crosses the line this time. This time in 22nd, and JT Bryant really nowhere to be seen in the 22 car. He's way back here somewhere. Where is he at? There he is, battling with Nathan Hudson, and he's being scored in the 41st position. So not good for a guy who came in 10th in the point stands. Also another driver that was doing well in the points that's not having a good run right there, Michael Norman in the 3. He came into this race 8th in the point stands, and right now he is mired way back in traffic. This time by crossing the line, the 3 car is scored in the 33rd position. Chris Dodd started this race up near the front of the field, and he has dropped back quite a bit. There's Joseph Strigley in the 24, Zachary Fitzwater in the 76. They're battling back here, somewhere just outside the top 20. They came into this race 4th for Strigley and 9th for Fitzwater. And just up ahead, you've got Jessica Shelton, who finished in the 3rd position last week at Rockingham, UK. She came into this race 6th in the point stand. So a lot of drivers that came in running well in points kind of struggling here in the midway point of this race. How about John Cittadino? First time we've seen him in a main event race here this season. We saw him a number of times last season. He was actually a pole sitter last season. But John Cittadino running well right now, and I think somebody may have just hit pit road. It looked like somebody just came to the pit lane. I might be wrong. No, I guess I'm wrong. It looked like some car dove onto pit road, but apparently that's not the case. Dylan Young still out in front showing the way. The best battle is actually looking like it may be for the 2nd position. Rookie Matt Haas in the 78 car. And Kyle Matthews in the Kings Island Chevrolet. Kyle Matthews would love to be able to find a way to victory lane for a 2nd straight week and pretty much all but lock himself up a spot in the chase for the championship. And this has been typical Kyle Matthews. If you look back to Season 2, when he won the Daytona 500, we've said it before and I'll say it again. He was, without a doubt, maybe one of the most consistent drivers for the entire 26 regular season race schedule. His average finish was the highest of all drivers, and it seemed like no matter what week it was, he always seemed to find a way to manage to get into the top 10. If he couldn't manage the top 10, he would always be in the top 15. Very few DNFs for that team in Season 2, and just doing the same thing here this season. Cole Baker, what a difference a year makes. Last year, he ended up having his best shot at winning a race at Salem, but Charles Sanford picked up win number 3 at the time at that particular racetrack. Cole Baker been denied a trip to victory lane a couple of times. He started on the pole for the Daytona 500 this season, finished in the top 5 last week at Rockingham, UK, was actually a factor for the win at some points of that race, and right now having another solid outing in the 4th position right now, and we can't really say he's out of the win picture here either. Top 4 have really broken away from the 5th position, and that is John Arndt running right now, according to the scoring monitor, a full 5 seconds behind 4th place Cole Baker. So The field is definitely spread out quite a bit here at Las Vegas. Cody Lamas right now in the 6th position. And how about the go-or-go-homer, Ryan George, up there in the 7th spot. What a great run he's having. He started this race, if I remember correctly, back in, I want to say, the 36th position. He has picked up that many spots in 26 laps. Joshua Michaels, a solid run for him in his Honda. He's in 8th. Leon Alvarez right there in 9th. And John Cittadino, another go-or-go-homer that qualified for this race, currently up there in the top 10. But as I stated, there is about now 6 seconds separation from 4th on back to 5th. These 4 could be the 4 to settle it out for this victory. And 3 of the 4 have not found victory lane yet. Dylan Young trying to do something that no team has really done, and that is claim a racetrack for one specific team. Season 1, it was the Dodge Dart of JT Bryant for Young Motorsports that took the checkered flag here at Las Vegas. Last season, Season 2, it was the Ford Fusion of Levi McIntyre who took the checkered flag. And here, this season, it is Dylan Young in the Ford Fusion showing the way. Also important, if you look back at prior history, that win at Las Vegas ended up locking up a spot for JT Bryant in the chase for the championship. The win for Levi McIntyre last season locked him up a spot in the chase for the championship. So if Dylan Young can close the deal here at Las Vegas, this could potentially lock him up a spot in the chase for the championship. Keep in mind, his win last year at Homestead Miami Speedway came during the chase, so he was not able to have that win count towards him being in the chase for the championship. Here this week, this could be a race that could do just that for him at the end of Season 3. And we've got pit stops. Kyle Matthews is in. Cole Baker in as well. 3rd and 4th place are coming to pit road. John Arndt will give up 5th. He's coming in, as are Ryan George, Leon Alvarez, Joshua Michaels. Whoa, Cody Lamas making a late decision to come to pit road as well. Looks like everybody's coming in here from the 5th position on back. Oh, we got trouble! We got a wreck in the back! Charles Sanford, points leader Blaine Keys, Brandon Gonzalez, Matt McIntyre involved as well. The caution flag is out. The caution flag is waving. Dylan Young and Matt Haas, they're coming to pit road. I don't know if they came down a closed pit road or not, but the yellow flag is waving after the pit stops have begun here on the green flag cycle at Las Vegas. Oh, Dylan Young, contact with Joshua Michaels coming into pit road. That's the race leader. And Michaels, I think, just sustained some right side damage as a result. Zach Flickinger appears to have some damage on his number 93. And who knows who's going to be the race leader now. The race off of pit road was won by, I believe it was Cole Baker. Yes, it was. Baker got out ahead of Matthews. But now the question is, where do these two cycle out? Matt Haas beat Dylan Young off pit road. Apparently they had to spend a little time repairing the damage on the 2. Or wait, is the 2 actually the leader? I don't know. We'll have to see if Dylan Young moves by Matt Haas or not. Matt Haas trying to figure out where he's got to be. As you've got the damaged car of the points leader coming this race, Blaine Keys, as well as Dylan Poche. I think these drivers are just on the tail end lead lap. I think Matt Haas is trying to find the pace car. But I think Matt Haas beat Dylan Young off pit road. I think he is the current race leader. So as we are under caution for the first time today, and we will restart with less than 10 to go, let's take a look at a replay of what happened to put us under this, our first caution of the day at Las Vegas, as Matt Haas is still not caught up to the pace car yet. Well, this all starts with the defending champion, Chris Dodd. He's in a 3-wide situation here, and he's got Richardson to his inside, Pote down even lower, and yeah, right there, Chris Dodd. I think Dodd wanted to come to pit road that lap, and he just came down across the nose of Richardson. Nothing Richardson could do, because he had Pote to his inside. And as Chris Dodd spins around, everybody's going to try to avoid him, and that's where the stack-up's going to begin. Everybody trying to scatter to avoid. Oh, right there you see Michael Norman knows the 88 is spun around. Sanford does not slow down. Runs into the back of Michael Norman. Then Blaine Keys runs into the back of him. Cody Hagan into the back of Keys. Flickinger into the back of Hagan, rather. And then Brandon Gonzalez right there. And then watch Matt McIntyre never slows down and just clobbers Brandon Gonzalez from behind. And I don't know. I think Nathan Hudson just barely squeaked through that. So out of all that, Norman, Dodd, Hagan, Flickinger, Sanford, McIntyre, Gonzalez, and Blaine Keys all sustaining damage from a stack-up after a spin of drivers trying to get to pit road for this cycle of green flag pit stops. We're going to have a dash to finish out this race. Let's head back now for the green flag. Well, I believe the lights are still on atop the pace car, so we won't go green yet. But Matt Haas is the race leader as things stand over Dylan Young. But they will start behind drivers who are caught behind the pace car on the tail end of the lead lap. So this is going to get very, very interesting. Matt Haas trying to look for his first win in only his third start of the season. Dylan Young has dominated this race, lines up in second. Then you've got some lap machines of Charles Sanford and Zach Flickinger before you get to Cole Baker in third, fourth place Kyle Matthews, and fifth place John Arndt. That's it. Those are the drivers basically in the hunt for this win as Charles Sanford brings his car to pit road. Everybody else from sixth on back, they're behind the pace car on the tail end of the lead lap. Cody Lamas in sixth, Ryan George in seventh, Joshua Michaels 8th, John Citadino 9th, and Leon Alvarez in 10th. Then you've got Daniel Voiles 11th, 12th Dallas McIntosh, Tim Walsh 13th, 14th Kat Tellier, and 15th Anthony McCurry. Rest of your top 20 are Jessica Shelton, Emmanuel Hartnett, Levi McIntyre, Kev Shearer, and Zachary Stoltz. So that was certainly not a timely caution at all for a number of these drivers. We're basically going to have 5 drivers to battle for this win. Haas, Young, Baker, Matthews, and Arndt. Everybody else will be battling for 6th position on back. And I believe the lights will go out atop, have gone out atop the pace car. We should be going green this time. I'll just double check on that. No, the lights are still on, so we will not go green, at least for one other lap. So we'll more than likely be restarting this race with probably about 5 laps to go. We do have drivers out of the race after the incident that took place as well. You've got Charles Sanford and Zach Flickinger both a lap down. 2 drivers out of the race after the incident we just saw. Brandon Gonzalez and Matt McIntyre. Of course, you see there as well, Keith Batson never got to take the green flag. He'll finish 42nd. He came into this race 2nd in the point standings. We gave you on down through the top 20 in the running order. Why don't we give you down through the full field rundown? Trent Dunham will restart 21st, Zachary Fitzwater 22nd, Mitchell Carter in 23rd, Sean Galligan back in 24th, 25th, Joseph Srigley, 26th is Benjamin Miles, 27th place, Michael Norman. James Richardson restarts 28th, Jake Baskinger 29th, Cody Hagan in 30th, 31st, Carson Scott, 32nd is Joshua Sakuli, 33rd, Nathan Hudson, 34th, JT Bryant, Blaine Keys in 35th, Chris Dodd 36th, and Dylan Pote you see starting just ahead of the leader. Matt Haas is the last car on the lead lap in the 37th position. 38th a lap down, Zach Flickinger, also a lap down, and 39th, Charles Sanford. So 37 of our original 42 cars on the lead lap, 3 cars out of the race. Matt McIntyre, Brandon Gonzalez, and Keith Batson. Who wants this win more is the big question. Matt Haas, 3rd career start, looking for his first career win. Dylan Young trying to continue on the dominance that Young Motorsports has established here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. There's going to be a lot of traffic for these drivers to have to contend with, a number of them up to speed. So this could get very interesting, as it will indeed be a 5-lap shootout to decide it between 5 drivers. Matt Haas, Dylan Young, Cole Baker, Kyle Matthews, and John Arndt. Green flag back out here, 5 laps to go at Las Vegas. And Zach Flickinger holding up 3rd on back. Cole Baker not able to get around the 93. Now he'll try to the high side, as now Matt Haas goes to work on traffic. Goes to the low side on Chris Dodd. Dylan Young going to try and follow him. Loses a little bit of ground to Matt Haas there, heading down the back straightaway. Matt Haas clears Chris Dodd, puts him a lap down. Now he'll go to the inside of the points leader Blaine Keys. Dylan Young now gets to the inside, will follow Matt Haas in line. 4 laps to go at the line. Can Matt Haas hang on for just 4 more laps, 16 more corners. Up ahead are drivers on the tail end of the lead lap, some of them up to speed, some of them damaged, like you can see there, the NXT Chevrolet of Michael Norman. Matt Haas moves to the inside. We'll make quick work of him. Dylan Young looks to follow in line as well. And now here's where things could get very interesting as Matt Haas encounters some slower traffic in the form of Carson Scott. Dylan Young tried to get clear of Carson Scott, could not get to the inside. Scott throws the block on him. 3 laps to go. Lap machine right now between Matt Haas and Dylan Young. Matt Haas still will have to deal with traffic up ahead. Joshua Sekuli, Nathan Hudson, Dylan Poteet all on the tail end of the lead lap. Haas moves up a groove to try and get through them. And here comes Dylan Young trying to use the lap car of Carson Scott to reel in Matt Haas, but there's only 2 laps to go, and Haas is the inside of another car, this time Nathan Hudson. Dylan Young is steadily losing ground rather than gaining it on the 78 of Matt Haas. Now he'll go to the inside on Carson Scott. Meanwhile, Haas to the inside of Nathan Hudson. Can't make the move yet. Dylan Young trying to close up the gap. He'll have to close up a lot more because the white flag will be displayed this time. Matt Haas showing the way. Dylan Young about 4, now 0.2 of a second back behind Matt Haas. Haas trying to clear Nathan Hudson. He succeeds. Dylan Young now to the inside, trying to get by the 6. He succeeds as well. It's not over yet. Matt Haas showing the way, but Dylan Young could close the gap here in 3 and 4. Matt Haas slowed up behind the 46 of Hagan. Here comes Dylan Young. Can Young make a charge? No, he cannot. Matt Haas, 3rd career race, 1st career win, takes the checkered flag here today at Las Vegas. Only 3 starts in the Hersheys Cup Series and already his first checkered flag of his career. Matt Haas puts the 78 car in victory lane for the first time since the Daytona 500 of Season 1. Dylan Young so close, almost made it. A 3 for 3 for Young Motorsports going to victory lane at Las Vegas, but just could not work his way through the traffic as well as Matt Haas did. And talk about making a statement, Matt Haas. What a rookie season he's having already as he will go to victory lane, and he could potentially be the very first rookie that we will have in our chase for the championship. All last season, the 16 drivers that locked themselves in the chase were all veterans from Season 1. Matt Haas could be the first rookie to lock himself up a spot in a Hersheys Cup Series chase for the championship. Dylan Young will have to settle for 2nd. Cole Baker, another top 5 run in 3rd. John Arndt gets 4th. And Kyle Matthews follows up his win last week with a top 5 run here today in 5th. The battle was on for 6th at the front of the field, and Dallas McIntosh will take that position. 7th place would be John Cittadino. What a great run for him. A go-or-go-home driver, had to race his way in, and he'll finish top 10. Leon Alvarez, another solid outing this week for him in 8th. Trent Dunham's going to get 9th, and Kat Tellier, who's had a struggling season, will finish out the day in the 10th position. Then you've got go-or-go-home drivers Zachary Stoltz and Ryan George, 11th and 12th. Zachary Fitzwater finishes a solid 13th, and then a couple more go-or-go-home drivers making their first career Hersheys Cup Series starts, 14th and 15th for Mitchell Carter and Kev Shearer. Your top 20 completed by Cody Lamas, Joshua Michaels, Anthony McCurry, Emmanuel Hartnett, and your Daytona 500 winner, Sean Galligan. Look on down through the remainder of the finishing results from today's race, and a number of notables down at the bottom of the running order. The points leader, Blaine Keys, finishes in 37th position. 2nd in the points, Keith Batson, not even on the scoring monitor here, finishes 42nd. Never even got to take the green flag. We already mentioned Galligan in 20th. Joseph Strigley, 4th in points, finishes 31st today. Jessica Shelton, who came in 6th in points, finishes 28th in this race. So a lot of drivers finishing way down. Tim Walsh, 26th, came in 7th in points. Michael Norman came in 8th in points. He finishes 36th. And JT Bryant came in the 10th position in points, finishes in 29th. So I don't think there's any doubt we are going to have ourselves another point shakeup heading into next week. A total of 32 cars finished on the lead lap. Cody Hagan was the last of those cars. We had a total of 7 drivers finish a lap down and 3 drivers finished out of the race. Brandon Gonzalez, Matt McIntyre, and Keith Batson. But the man of the hour, the man of the day, is rookie Matt Haas, going to victory lane for the first time in his career and only his 3rd start this season. I think he's definitely making a case for himself to be the Rookie of the Year contender for sure here in Season 3, and he may have also just locked himself up a spot as the first rookie in the Hersheys Cup Series chase for the championship. Next week, folks, we are getting ready to let the dirt fly as we'll head to the short track of Bristol Motor Speedway, but it will be Bristol Dirt. We'll go dirt track racing for race number 4. Can't wait for that. We'll have Almond Joy and Hersheys Cup Series coverage coming your way from that racetrack. But thank you all so much for tuning in to today's race from Las Vegas. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. You are currently looking at your point standings heading to next week at Bristol, as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.